Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Tom.
And I'm Tim.
And this is the Park Bench.
We have threatened to get Tim on here for a long time. The light is fading, but nevertheless...
I'm here. Hi.
All 6'7". All 6'7" flailiness of him. I might deliberately pop the video in a bit, just so the top of your head is just...
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot up there to see, so, you know, you
How
might
are
be
you
missing
today,
out
Tim?
on much. I'm good.
He's always
I'm
good.
really good. I am good. I'm happy. I'm a happy person.
You are. You are.
Happy.
See, that's the opposite of the shtick we set up before filming this,
Yes.
where you were meant to say...
Oh, yes, right now I'm not happy. Actually, that's a very good point.
This is the third attempt.
What? Why are you not happy, Tim?
I am not happy. And I'll tell you, this is something I am actually angry about, but I'd momentarily forgotten about. Through all the fun of the introduction. I am angry right now because we're not in Stockholm. We're on a bench in rubbish London. London's not rubbish, London's good, but right now, it's not Stockholm.
Because the Eurovision Song Contest is not happening here.
No.
And the reason we're not in Stockholm is because we didn't try to get tickets for Eurovision this year.
His fault.
Because I successfully convinced you earlier this year that it wasn't worth trying because it wouldn't hold up to... Was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before.
2 years ago. It wouldn't hold up to that. Same as before, it wasn't worth trying to get tickets.
Because we went.
We went.
The year before that, we went to the semi-finals. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
We thought,
By the way, if you want a guide to Eurovision, there are loads of them online. If you are
Many.
American or outside the EU and don't understand what Eurovision is, go look. We're not going to try and explain it, but your Twitter timeline, whatever, is going to get taken over.
yeah, the last 48 hours, there will have been so many articles written on it on every BuzzFeed alike.
Yeah.
And BuzzFeed.
Also, if you're on Tumblr, I know this specifically, Eurovision is about to take over your dashboard. Saturday night is going to be a mess. Just enjoy it.
So, Tim and I went to watch one of the semi-finals a couple of years before that, and it was great fun, and we thought, right, let's try and get tickets for the final.
And we did.
We did.
Against all odds, because we had three of us refreshing that webpage a lot.
I
It's
had three devices on the go.
Yeah.
It's one normal gig-sized venue with all of Europe being the target audience for the gig.
Yes. And
Yeah,
we got tickets.
We got tickets.
We got standing room tickets somewhere nearish the front. So we go off to, it was Copenhagen?
Copenhagen.
that year?
It was
Copenhagen.
Malmö the year before,
Yeah.
and then across the bridge.
The bridge from the TV series The Bridge.
The Øresund Bridge.
Yes.
So we went to Malmö the year before, and
Yes.
then that year we went to Copenhagen.
I
And
like
because
that
of-
bridge. Just because we flew over that bridge,
Oh,
going to Estonia.
Estonia, on the way
Going
to
to Estonia.
Estonia.
I'll sit back and let you.
Yeah, no, it's on your-
We saw it from the window. It was very pretty. I think we've mentioned that before, haven't we?
basically, folks on the plane were wondering, so some lads on the plane were wondering why
Lads.
he was taking a photo out the window. I'm like, what's down there? And then one of them turns to me and says, you look like you know about bridges. Which, I'd be offended,
He does,
but I
really.
do. I do. That's accurate.
So he told them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we stay in Malmö. We take the bridge tunnel to Copenhagen. We queue up 6 hours early for the show.
6 hours early and raining.
That was my fault.
Yep.
This was entirely my fault.
I mean, it's good to be organised. So there's that.
It was on an island, so we had
Eurovision Island.
We had to get a boat to this island that had a massive warehousey thing that they had converted into a TV studio-y, gig venue-y thing.
Yep. And we turned up. We must have been one of the first 50 in the queue.
Maybe
Because-
first 100.
Well,
Because I
yeah.
thought we'll get there. There'll be food and drink stands on Eurovision Island. We'll get some food, get some drink. When the queue starts happening, we'll go in.
And it said on the email, don't arrive too late. We've got food
Yeah.
and drink and stuff for you to buy.
It was closed,
Closed.
fenced off. Can't get
A
in.
lot of one of the things I remember vividly is a load of just ahead of us in the queue.
Yep.
A load of Spanish girls
Yep.
singing "Standing in the Rain" to the tune of that year's Spanish entry, "Singing in the Rain." Yeah, you remember that, no, don't you? Yeah, there we go.
There was the Icelandic group just ahead of us. There were Germans behind. Like it was despite it being raining for some of it, it was a really nice queue.
It was a really nice
There were
queue.
some Brits from the back going around handing out sweets and drinks to people who were in the queue. It was closed because the last rehearsal was going on inside.
And as a rehearsal, you can still attend that if you didn't.
Yeah,
it's
if you-
another venue to
Yeah.
a way of getting.
They've got to test
Each show
all the-
happens 4 times, so there
Yeah.
are 4 viewings of it.
Also, two dress rehearsals, the big rehearsal, and the final.
No,
And-
jury rehearsal, jury final, dress rehearsal, final.
Right. And we also learned the universal call of the Brit abroad. Because as that audience files out, someone comes out, a group comes out with an Icelandic flag. It's a bit of a yeah. Group comes out with the French. Oh yeah. Group comes out with a British flag.
Way! It's the homing call of the Brits.
Yeah.
Euro hooligans.
And then it gets to a bit closer. The rain starts to abate a little.
But then it sort of happened that the queue sort of started. We're sitting on the ground, and they started to stand up and like, something's happening. Oh,
and there's some shouting from further down, from the entrance. And
people are getting excited.
We can't hear it. We don't know what's going on. But then the gates open a bit,
but very slightly.
And
people are going through. Like we heard.
Tim, you have big elbows here.
Big elbow.
Oh! Yeah,
that didn't mean to be that
happened to a
violent,
lot of Europeans as we followed in his wake.
Because we were going to get in there.
And we did.
We did.
And then they closed the gates behind us.
So not far behind us.
Yeah.
As it turns out, they let a few of us in early and then let the rest of them queuing. And they scanned our tickets.
Yeah. This is weird.
Yeah.
What happened? I just remembered it. It was really weird because they lined us up like school kids.
They lined us up,
two by two.
Or more or less. Like it was.
They said, stay in your line 2 by 2 and don't leave the line.
Don't jump the queue. Don't leave the line, or you'll be chucked out.
And like, okay, they're leading us through the where you can get the food, get drinks. It's all shut.
Yeah.
And then we stop outside the toilets.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, these are the toilets. Please use the toilets. You will not have a chance to use them for another hour at least. So if you want to go, let's go.
That's weird. That's not a normal audience thing.
No. I don't like winging myself. So I went to the toilet.
Very few people do.
Some. And the queue is still back there. They still haven't opened the gates.
And then they lead us in further. They lead us into an ante-room next to the thing, big marquee tent. There's one concession stand open to get food and drinks, so we do. Staying in the line. Got to stay in the line
2 by 2.
Behind us, they've let the crowds in. And the crowds are at a barrier near the back.
And they're kind of looking at us and wondering what we're doing as well.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We keep going. And then they let us in. And we've got...
So there's a small pen right at the front.
We're right at the front. We are at the barrier at the front, and we realise what's happened.
We saw people standing next to us looking at their tickets.
Yeah.
What was those tickets called?
They've got superfan tickets.
Those go for a lot of money.
They do. And
we had tickets for right at the back of the standing area. We had been led in.
I'm just pointing out here, no one said anything to us about this.
Until we were there.
We think the assumption they made was that anybody that was weird enough to stand in line for 6 hours, pouring with rain, is going to be a super fan.
And they're going to have bought that ticket that lets them in there. And no one checked. In our defence, we didn't know that until we were in there. And there was a massive crowd behind us and we couldn't do anything about it, even if we wanted to. So let's be honest.
We didn't.
We didn't. Because we were at the front.
We were at the barrier.
At the front, and then...
Which means we were on TV.
We were on TV.
A lot.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Particularly because 6'7" here kind of stands out above the crowd.
Well, I've got the hair. You can
yeah, he's got the hair. Matt is visible with the hair. Yeah. I'm visible
above everyone.
Tom is visible.
So I thought, after we did that, after we were at the front, I mean, hell, I filmed a video there because we were in there with 100 people, no one else in. I'm like, right, can you hold my camera? And I uploaded it over Eurovision's Wi-Fi, which had not yet died through 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 people coming into the arena. And it worked. And we were at the front and we saw Conchita Wurst win that year, and it was a heck of a show.
And my favourite thing was when we brought all the artists out right at the beginning, and everyone was yelling up, and I yelled out Molly, who was our Molly Sandon, who was our Molly thing? Yeah. And I went Molly.
It was,
and then she looked down and smiled.
Yeah, You didn't say smiled there. Well done.
Smiled, yeah.
You know what the moral of the story is? Because I'm going to try and wrap this park bench up in a neat, swift bow. The moral of the story is that all those things you hear about walking confidently into somewhere, about making people believe you're meant to be there, about if you can somehow convince yourself that you are meant to be there, other people will believe you too.
Or if you can be silly enough not to realise that you're not meant to be there.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm glad we were, because the
I'm glad, yeah.
theatrics, the staging, the everything at Eurovision is so good in
Outstanding.
person.
It is world class.
I mean,
It is-
it looks big on TV.
Yeah.
But when you're there as a tiny little person and huge staging, it's kind of whoa.
Yeah. So, to finish, what's your tips for Eurovision this year? Because this is going to go up on Saturday. Eurovision is going to be in a few hours' time. I love Azerbaijan's song, but it's not going to win.
I love Russia's song because the staging it's a great song, and the staging is kind of like Montezemolo's last year.
Oh, have they ripped off the...
No,
the-
well, it starts out looking like they've ripped it off.
Right.
And some countries have ripped it off.
Okay.
But Russia...
They used projection mapping and interactive graphics for the
Yeah.
winning song last year.
Not
So obviously-
interactive, well timed.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
so
yeah.
everyone's... The appearance of interactive graphics.
And-
So everyone's ripping that off.
But Russia looks like, for the first 30 seconds or so, he's moving around and the light's moving around beside him.
Whoa, spoilers.
After that, okay, I won't
After
say
that-
what else. It goes up
Oh,
from Monce's 10 to Russia's 10 billion. That's not
Okay.
quite that, but it's a whole order of magnitude better.
And I agree with you two on those two. I also really liked Lithuania's track. And a few weeks ago, we went through all 43 entrants to the entire competition. We rated them with our score of 1 to 100. And then I graphed it.
Here's Matt's graph. It's meant to be over there, Matt. It's meant to be over there. Do you think it's obvious that we filmed these out of order and that this is the really dark one that we filmed at the end of the day?
Kind of the whole sunset thing.
Yeah,
does.
it's
The
gonna
fact
be
that
in
it
the wrong
starts light and goes dark
Yeah.
is...
But
unless we can convince people that this is actually dawn.
Sunrise.
Sunrise, yes. So we actually came out really early to record this.
as long as we don't mention in the next video that it was lighter in this video, I don't think they'll notice.